Hey, Cards, Ryan Breckbill with the Center for Career and Professional Development, here to share with you some tips and strategies for navigating LinkedIn. Happy to answer any questions after this video that you have. You can email career@otterbein.edu. So, as you know, we play something known as Box O Stuff Trivia in the Center for Career and Professional Development. So here is our question for this session. In the film Finding Nemo, what is Dory's advice? Some of you may have already yelled out the answer, but it is indeed keep on swimming. So great advice, timeless advice really from Dory in Finding Nemo. Okay, here's where we are headed with our Navigating LinkedIn overview. First, we'll talk a little bit about what it is. Then we'll talk about profile features, get into some profile development tips, and also then show you some navigation and communication strategies and tools on LinkedIn. So what is it? It is the world's largest professional network. So you can see the number of users that are there. We'll also talk a little bit about groups that are there. Those are people who've come together around a particular organization or institution. Otterbein Alumni Group is one that is open to current students and alumni to join. There's about 2,800 members, so certainly we encourage all of our students and alums to join the Otterbein Alumni Group on LinkedIn. You can see that one of the statistics I find interesting is that there's 610 million total users, but only about 303, or about half of those folks, are active monthly users. So just some people create a platform there and kind of leave it until they need it as their job searching. So we encourage you, just as with your resume, keep your LinkedIn profile up to date. The percentage of Fortune 500 companies that are using it, as well as the percentage of recruiters on LinkedIn as well. So I'm surprised, honestly, that 77% of recruiters isn't a little bit higher, but lots of recruiters are spending their days on LinkedIn looking for candidates. Some profile features. One of the most important features is your headshot. That should be a professional headshot where you are professionally dressed and you upload that photo to your LinkedIn profile. Your headline is an introduction of who you are. So for a lot of our students, it could be aspiring graphic designer, it could be emerging professional in accounting, whatever the case may be, but you want your headline to give your viewer, the viewer of your profile, an introduction of who you are and what it is that you're looking for. Your summary then is a big picture overview of the skills and experiences that you bring to the table. And then as we get into experiences, education, and awards, if you've completed a resume, a lot of that information is going to carry over from your resume to your LinkedIn profile. Within your profile development, you've got an opportunity to provide detail that you're not able to necessarily provide on your resume. So focus on the results that you've achieved and the experiences that you've had. Be as specific as possible with those examples. Let them know the impact that you've had, and be sure to share examples. So you can upload PowerPoint presentations, video, photos. There's lots of ways that you can provide evidence of the skills that you've developed through your experiences on LinkedIn. As we think about navigation and communication, when you think about other platforms, other social media platforms, you've got friends, you've got followers, you've got other ways that you've have people connected to you, but on LinkedIn, it's connections. Those are professional connections. So those are past supervisors, those are faculty members, other staff members at Otterbein, former teachers that you've had, but what kinds of connections can you make through LinkedIn? We talked a little bit about groups. Certainly, again, I'll tout the Otterbein Alumni Group, but look for other organizations and other groups that align with your professional interests. Follow those groups, join those groups. That's a great way to network, to expand your personal and professional network on LinkedIn as well, and to find out about industry trends, job opportunities, internship opportunities, just another way to expand those horizons. When you're searching on LinkedIn, you can search for individuals, you can search for companies. We'll go through that here in just a second. And then once you find individuals that you're interested in communicating with, we'll talk about how to message them. So that is the quick overview of LinkedIn. I want to take you to the live LinkedIn page and give you some tips and strategies there as well. But before we do that, I wanted to share this resource with you. This website, students.linkedin.com, provides some short videos about different components of LinkedIn, how to maximize your profile, just some great resources and handouts there as well. So those are our slides, and let's shift over to the LinkedIn Live area. Hang on one second and make sure that we've got this. So good. So we flipped over to my profile on LinkedIn. So you can see my headshot here, followed by my headline here. So I've chosen just to include my current title here at Otterbein. As we scroll through, profile here is my summary. So you can get a sense of the 5 or 6 things that I've listed there. And then we get into the experience. Again, this is information that you can take directly from your resume. This allows you to provide much more detail and information than your resume allows, because you've got more real estate here. There's education, and then you can also include volunteer experience. You'll see over here, there's an add profile section. So there's more information that you can add. You can categorize your experiences in different ways. You can also take a look here as well to include some other options for your profile. So that's really the profile overview here. Up top is where we're able to search for people, jobs, content, companies, schools, and groups. So you can see some of the recent searches that I have had, but let's just do a quick search for the Otterbein alumni group. So we'll click on that. It takes us to that group. If you are not already a member, we encourage you to join that. You can see we've got 2,849 members here. If you are not a member, you'll send an invitation to join, and our friends and colleagues in alumni relations will manage that for you. So join those groups, get connected with those connections and opportunities through those groups. But you can also search for people here. Actually, let me get back out of that, back to my profile. And you can also create a photo in this area here, or add a photo in this area. I chose not to do that. But once you've created your profile, it's really the first step. Then you'll begin to see a news feed, and it's going to look a lot like other social media platforms. So this will just be posts that people I've connected with have put out or have liked or have shared. So just great ways to keep in touch with your contacts and the kinds of work that they're doing. So check in with that LinkedIn profile, or check in with that LinkedIn news feed so that you've got some information there. Your network, those are your contacts that you have. Those are the connections that you have. You can search for jobs in here as well. And you can also message people directly through LinkedIn. So you'll see some history of messaging that I've done with some of my contacts over here. And then you can get into notifications. This will give you an update, people who've gotten new jobs, if there have been new posts in the groups that you're a part of, birthdays, happy birthday, Anna Edwards, and go from there. So lots of great information on LinkedIn. But let's just do a quick search for a person, and we'll talk a little bit about how we make those connections out there. So I'm going to connect, I'm just going to type in random, we're going to do Jason Anderson. And let's see if we can find a Jason Anderson. So we found a Jason Anderson here. Actually, let's do Jason Anderson. Let's do this Jason Anderson. So you can do this by a variety, or find people by a variety of ways. Industry information, employer, but if an alum or someone like me or another staff member at Otterbein says, hey, you should connect with Jason Anderson, for example, you can search for him on LinkedIn. And that second there means that we share at least one mutual connection. But I can see where he's at professionally, also geographically. I can take a look at his profile and look at his background. He and I were both alumni of Bowling Green State University. I can see that. And let's say that I wanted to connect with Jason for whatever reason. I would click this connect button here. And if I hit send now, a very generic message would be sent to Jason that says, Ryan Breckville wants to connect with you. And he's going to think, well, who is this guy? I don't really know him. I always encourage people to add a note. It gives you an opportunity, though it is character limited, to provide a very basic introduction of why you're looking to connect on here. So I always encourage people to include that personal message. So I'm actually going to hit cancel on that. One interesting feature about LinkedIn is that you can see who has viewed your profile. So Jason is going to see that I took a look at his profile, which is totally fine. You can control that feature from the home page over here, and you can see that 110 people have viewed my profile. So just some information of who's been looking at my profile. So happy to answer any other questions that you all have about LinkedIn. Again, you can email career@otterbein.edu. This is a quick overview and introduction, but we hope that it's helpful as you get started in your professional networking.